Good morning, Admirals. Vice Admiral Tom Mitchell here in the center chair. Welcome back to our Star Trek Online. Let's check out our duty officer report here. Okay. Our next episode, our next mission is Out in the Cold. Ambassador Zira, we have lost contact with 2 transports en route to the outer colonies. There were more than 400 Teferi on those vessels, and with the rising threat from the Breen, I feared the worst. Their last known location was near VZA 4001, and I suggest that you start your search there. The Breen have no compunction against attacking civilian ships, and we seek peace with the Breen, as we do with all things, but they answer our offers of friendship with death and destruction. Find our ships. If there are any survivors, please bring them home safely. Okay, we get a Breen Transphasic Cluster Torpedo. Launches a level 1 Transphasic Cluster Torpedo, creates 10 level 1 Transphasic mines in a wide pattern. 40% shield penetration. Okay. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but we'll check it out. VSA 4001 is an uninhabited star system. The 3 planets... Oh, declined. The 3 planets of the system were destroyed approximately 5,200 years ago when one of the 2 stars in the system collapsed, creating a black hole. The gravitational pull from the black hole was at an angle from the planets, and the gravitational shear tore the planets apart. The area is on the major trade route for the Teferi sector. Sir, we are receiving an emergency distress signal from the Teferi freighter Sabak. I'm patching it through the main view screen now. To all ships and marines, this is the Teferi freighter Sabak. We are under attack and require immediate assistance. We have no weaponry aboard and our shields are failing. Anyone who can hear this, please help. It must be one of the Breen raiding parties that we were warned about, sir. If we don't get there fast, there won't be anyone left aboard to save. I've located the Sabak by tracing their distress signal, and we can engage on your command. saving us. Our sister ship, the Pactau, was waylaid by Breen raiders at our scheduled rendezvous point. We made a micro-warp jump as soon as the Breen arrived and used the magnetic field of the comet to hide our energy signature. But the Breen have better sensors than we do. They found us. If you hadn't come along when you did, we would have been obliterated. I'm worried about the Breen being at our next stop, so I'm going to try to get there ahead of schedule and be gone before they arrive. If you could, please find the Pacto. There were dozens of people aboard that ship. This is the Nefari ship Pacto. We escaped from the Breen slaver attack and our antimatter containment unit and warp corals are non-functional. We need some replacement parts immediately. We're on the edge of a warp core breach. If there's any ship in range, please, we need help. Where is that little sucker? Lost him. There he is. Pactau. Way over here. Okay, let's go. Sir, there are Breen ships inbound at Warp 7. 2 waves from the looks of it. The first should be on top of us in a few seconds. Battle station.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Ship is under attack. Target shields have failed.
Actao Captain, thank you for your fortunate assistance. We should be fine from here. I want to catch up with our sister ship, the Sabak. They fled at the first sight of the Breen raiders. We heard some of the slavers who attacked us talking about the Zeraris system. If you want to take care of the Breen menace for good, you might want to start by looking for them there. Course laid in for the Zaria system, sir. Looks like there's nothing of interest. Just a broken planetoid. The system scans that the ferry provided are fairly out of date, though, so something may have changed. Standing by to engage in your command. Alpha Zeria 30 is a hot G-class star that is very similar to the star at the center of the Sol system. However, it was not always so. The star was a cooler Class K star in the early 22nd century. The very scientists believe that the neutral metals in the core of the star came in contact with the source of protomatter, igniting the star and increasing its core temperature significantly. The resulting explosion destroyed the two worlds in close orbit with the star. Sir, that destroyed planet has a dilithium-rich core. Looks like the Breen have set up a mine inside the remains of the planetoid, and true to form they're using all they captured to ferry as slave labor. We have to defeat the Breen picket squadrons before we can beam down to the mine. It looks like there's only a small force though. Okay, where are the rest of the Breen? I don't see them. Oh, there they are, down there. Ah. That's the last of the scout squadron, sir. Unfortunately, we can't just beam up the Deferi. The Bream has some sort of transporter disruptor field in place. We need to get down there and disable it before we can rescue the Deferi slave laborers. Sensors showing that the Marine are using 3 separate transport disruptors. We need to knock out those disruptors before we can transport any of the prisoners back to the Lexington. The transport disruptors appear to be specifically keyed to Deferi physiology. That would allow the Marine to beam in and out at will, but the prisoners would be trapped. It also explains why our transport signal wasn't disrupted. We will need to neutralize any Marine guard groups inside as well. We can't risk any unexpected Marine technology that might interfere with our rescue operation. These prison cells are tied into the transport inhibitors. Shutting the inhibitors down should allow us to rescue the captured Deferi. I'm also reading additional Deferi life signs on other levels. Based on our preliminary readings, all cells are connected to the same mechanism. That's all the disruptors and guards, sir. I'm picking up a new contact aboard the station. We may have aroused the curiosity of the Marine commander. We should make sure that the ferry are beamed away safely before investigating this new threat. We have confirmation all of the ferry prisoners are transported safely. We are clear to return. I was expecting someone more impressive. After all, Thoth Wen was one of my most reliable veterans. Defeating him must have pushed you to your limits. I'd like to say I'm looking forward to meeting you in person, but because I expect Thought Grand to end your life here, I'm afraid that won't be possible. You've been interesting, but ultimately insignificant. Farewell.
Enemy target on sensor. Flanking damage detected. Shield losing power. Enemy target on sensor.
That's it. Now that we've taken care of the officer in charge, this entire mining operation should fall apart. But who sent that message? Thoth Trout? Could he be who is behind all the problems the Jabari are having? We need to look into this more in detail, sir. Starfleet should be able to send patrols to ensure that the Breen don't set up shop here again, or perhaps the Deferi will establish a lithium mine here themselves. We can leave whenever you're ready. The survivors are on their way home, and we will be sending an expedition out to assess the viability of operating the mines ourselves. I think it would be wise to consider a joint operation with your government. The resources in the Sierra system are rare, and the best way to maintain the balance may be to share them with you. Thank you for all your assistance. Your actions help preserve the balance. Breen Transphasic Cluster Torpedo. Okay. Creates 10 level 1 transphasic mines. I don't think it's level 1. I don't know. As you can see, there's 3 daily missions that you can do: Emancipation, Rescue to Ferry Captors, and Aiding to the Ferry. They're dailies. But until then, we will adjourn and meet up tomorrow's 0600 hours, and we will continue with the Breen story arc. Until then, good night.